Okay, so I posted a picture of a Chaffle breakfast sandwich that I had made on Facebook, or made it and posted it on Facebook. Um, and I decided I would make a little video of how I did it because I had some questions from people and saying how good it looked. So I thought people may want to know how I made it. So yesterday morning I made 4 batches of Chaffle batter, and it's the Wonderbread Chaffle batter. And I just cook them all up. I get 12 Chaffles out of 4 recipes of Wonderbread Chaffle batter. And I store them in the refrigerator or the freezer and use them as I want to. So I'm just going to use one. Yesterday I used 2. I'm just going to use one. It makes them go further. I don't have to make them quite as often if I just use one per sandwich. So I will put mayonnaise on this, and then I cut a round of onion and I put it on my Chaffle maker. Now this is called a mini dash. They have them in different patterns, I guess you would say. This is the flat iron. I also have the waffle iron. And depending on what you're making, it works good to use one or the other, or there's a couple of others. But those are the 2 that I have. So I put this round of onion on for 3 minutes. I just stick it on there and close the lid and let it cook while I get my Chaffle ready for the hot items. So I'm just going to put my camera down here. Hang on. Whoops. Bear with me. Bear with me. Okay. So while this is cooking, I'm going to put mayonnaise. Some mayonnaise on my Chaffle. Something like that. And then I get turkey breast, and I put, now the turkey, this kind of turkey I get from Sam's, and it is 1 carb per 2 ounces, and 2 ounces is 3 to 4 slices of meat. So I put 3 to 4 slices on. Each Chaffle is almost 1 carb, so I just go ahead and count it as 1 carb. So then with the meat and the Chaffle right now, I have 2 carbs. And then I put a slice of Munster cheese. You can use whatever cheese you like. Again, this comes from Sam's, and this has 0 carbs. Most cheese I have found is 0 carb unless it's made with some kind of sugar in it. You know, your fruity cheeses that have blueberry flavor or blueberry something, or it often has carbs in it, but plain and regular cheese is generally carb-free, which is good for a keto diet. It hangs over the edges, and because I put this back on my Chaffle machine and I don't want all the cheese to melt down all around my machine, I usually just pluck these corners off. Okay. So my onion is ready to, I'm going to temporarily take it back off of the chaffle maker. I have some bacon here. Now, I do the same thing with my bacon. Same thing. I cook it ahead of time in the oven. And this is the last of the bag. This bag was full when I started out, but so I just lay the bacon. I use 2 or 3 slices of bacon. Again, I don't have the box of bacon, but it says it has no carbs. I usually count it as 1 carb because it does have sugar in it. At least that's in the ingredients. But it must be a minute amount because it says it has no carbs. So it must be less than 1 carb per, I forget how many ounces, but I think it's 2 or 3 slices. So I use 2 to 3 slices. So in my hot waffle iron, I just break it up and lay it so that it lays in the bottom here. I get an egg. And these eggs are from my cousin Margaret, who sells her farm raised eggs, which is so nice. I love them. They are super good and nice dark yolk. Okay. So I break the yolk and just kind of spread it around on top of the bacon. I forgot the salt and pepper. Okay. Sprinkle a little salt. A little pepper. And then I put the onion back on top here, because the bottom side of the onion is nice and toasty, but this will make it where the top side of the onion will also get toasted. And I just close it back up and I set a timer for 3 minutes. Hey Google, set a timer for 3 minutes.
3 minutes, and that's starting now.
And while that's cooking, I just kind of start cleaning up my mess. Put things away. I usually store my chaffles in the refrigerator because they don't last long enough to freeze them. So, yeah, I might as well just put them in the fridge. So my Wonderbread Chaffle recipe, I have it here on the wall. I usually do not use the sour cream. I just find that this is 4 batches, and I have 8 chaffles up here, and that is true with the waffle iron. The waffle iron takes a little bit more batter to make a chaffle, but with the flat iron, I can get 12 chaffles out of my recipe because well, it just doesn't take as much batter. Okay, so this is the original recipe for one recipe. And it makes about 4 chaffles in the waffle shaped iron, but more like 6. You can get more like 6 out of the flat iron. And the chaffles, I use them for hamburger patties and any kind of sandwich that I want to make. And there's my timer. You can make desserts out of them. Hey Google, stop. Okay, so this is what it looks like when it's done. So it's nice and hot, and I just get up under here with something. You have to be very gentle. This is got a non-stick coating on it, so I have to be really careful when I poke knives and metal things that I don't scrape that coating off. So because this is so nice and hot, it will melt that cheese, and when I want to heat the whole thing or get really fancy, I will set the chaffle sandwich right down on top of that and just let it toast the bread or the chaffle because it was cold from the refrigerator. So if I want it nice and hot, I'll do that. If I'm in a hurry, I don't bother with it. So then I leave it there for, I don't know, a minute or 2. I'm just going to go ahead and take it off for time's sake, but it'll just kind of toast it up a little bit, and that's how I usually leave it and just eat it like that. If you want to, you can, of course, put another chaffle on top, and then I just flip it over. Once it's hot on one side, I flip it to the other side, and then both sides are toasted. When I make one for Roy, that's how he likes it. He likes to have 2. So, yeah. All right, that's how it's done, y'all. Happy shuffling.